BMW 5 Series Touring Review, BMW's new tour de force. Having arrived in showrooms in mid-February, the track record of the 6 previous generations of the model was an incredible 7.9 million sold since 1972 and 2.2 million of the outgoing model alone. BMW's mid-range saloon has firmly established itself as the ultimate status executive saloon. Despite all that history, even BMW must have been shocked by the success of this newest saloon. In its first 3 months on sale, it has sold at twice the rate of the previous version's first 3 months, and that car was no slouch, as those 2.2 million sales attest. And now we have this new touring estate version. Given the proliferation of crossovers and 4x4s on the market, you could be forgiven for wondering if the death knell was already ringing for the future of the estate car, but you would be wrong, in Europe at least. In Germany, some 60% of 5 Series sales are the touring, and even here in the UK it accounts for a third of sales. In total, BMW has sold more than 1 million 5 Series Tourings worldwide since the original arrived in 1991. Longer, taller and wider than the previous version, this latest Touring is also a hefty 15 stone lighter than before. Along with the same new engines and new suspension, BMW is also promising improved refinement levels, plus the offer of 4-wheel drive on its X-Drive versions and a slightly larger boot. Initially, the 5 Series Touring will be available with 2 turbo petrol and 2 turbo diesel engines. As with the saloon, it is the pair of turbo diesels that will account for 85 to 90% of sales, kicking off with a 190 bhp 2.0 liter in the 520D, capable of 0 to 60 miles per hour in 7.8 seconds and on to a 139 miles per hour top speed, as well as a 62.7 mpg average fuel economy and 114 g/km emissions. Step up to the 530D, and that boasts 265 bhp, improving those statistics to 5.8 seconds and 155 miles per hour, as well as 56.4 mpg and 131 g/km. The 530D is the only one of this pair available with 2 or 4-wheel drive, although given the saloon offers a 520D X-Drive version, it is highly likely one will be fitted to this Touring before long. Despite the current scaremongering about diesels in the car industry, BMW still expects petrol sales of this 5 Series Touring to be minimal, with a 252 bhp 2.0 liter in the 530i, and 340 bhp 3.0 liter in the 540i. They are certainly quick, with the 540i also benefiting from X-Drive and managing 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 5.1 seconds, though the economy and emissions suffer at 37.6 mpg on average and 172 g/km, and the former is likely to plummet if you use any of that performance. Although other engines will join the range in due course, including that likely 520D X-Drive, the only major difference between this Touring and the saloon with their respective engine line UPS is that there sadly will not be a Touring version of the 530e plug-in hybrid model due to the batteries and standard fit air suspension. On the road, probably the biggest compliment you can pay this Touring version of the 5 Series is that it feels virtually no different to the saloon. That 15 stone weight loss certainly gives the Touring a more lithe feel on the road, and when BMW boss Ian Robertson claims that this is BMW's most luxurious Touring ever, he's not joking. We have written many times on these pages before about the high refinement levels of the new 5 Series, and the Touring takes that to a higher level. The rear air suspension keeps the ride supremely comfortable even when there isn't a significant load in the boot, while the adaptive drive system gives a noticeable difference between comfort and sport that can be felt both in the responsiveness of the car and its overall feel, something that is not always the case with rivals' similar systems.